Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Alvin here. Singaporeans, you guys are rich, like filthy rich, huh? Why I'm saying this is because if you click on this video, quite frankly, I'm gonna just give you a public service announcement that finfluencers apparently needs to be regulated and licensed to give advice on investment advice, savings advice, budgeting advice. Like for real, man, they actually talked about this during Parliament. If you're unaware, Parliament is in session, and one of the smaller yet bigger, more noticeable, topic for us, for me in particular, because I'm not really in the finance space, but I'm, dapping a little bit, talking about it. But for this, those who actually, talk about stocks, talk about, any investment platforms, anything that you put money into, you better be licensed or regulated, because from Alvin Tan, same name as me, yesterday he was actually asked about finfluencers and their role in the marketplace, in the finance marketplace, here in Singapore. And apparently, yeah, finance influencers, which we call them finfluencers, they expect the financial institutions that employ these finfluencers, it can be anyone, who actually advertise their products and services, that to present their information clear and balanced way that highlights key features and risks. The regulator, apparently, which is MAS, I will assume, has made it clear that any of the individuals who are paid or remunerated for making any recommendation to use a platform or the buying, selling, or holding or any investment products will be considered as providing financial advice. If it's not, paid for, and he still talks about the product or the investment vehicle or anything, is considered providing financial advice. And because if he's like, making recommendations on a daily basis, but the point of contention is general educational content is not financial advice. That's what Mr. Tan said, who is the Minister of State for Trade and Industry. And as well as cultural, community and youth. Wow, he's the minister for so many things. My God. No wonder they're paid so well. This has implications because across the border, across Causeway, just go over Causeway, Malaysia itself, there's already regulations in place for the Malaysia finfluencers that they have to abide by. It's a very hot topic for those finance YouTubers who talk about finance, talk about stocks, talk about the individual picks and REITs or anything that you put money into and hoping for it to grow. That's finance advice, and it's a vehicle that you put into that you talk about on the internet. They are having trouble getting their head around this regulation because it's something that the Malaysia government actually put in place. Is quite a thick book, and it's very vague. This one in Singapore, coming back to Singapore, is, from what I can tell, is whoever is actually giving you advice to use a platform to invest, you technically need to be licensed. So, like, for instance, if you're talking about property, you have to be an agent, I guess. If you're talking about, stocks, you have to be a stockbroker, I guess. I mean, this one, I'm not very sure. I would urge you, if you are taking advice from any of these finfluencers, the bigger ones especially, bear in mind that they may be regulated. They already know that they need to be licensed. Whether they are licensed or not, take it with a pinch of salt, and then you take their advice that it shouldn't be financial advice to you. It should be educational. And where you put your money is your own doing. The thing that I'm trying to come to terms with is, Yes, the influencers has a big sway in the fans that they have. The bigger they are, they have fans for them. They even have Telegram groups, which for me, I don't wish to do a Telegram group. I only want to put my thoughts on YouTube. This is my only social media that I do. I don't have Twitter or X. I don't have Facebook. I don't, not that I don't use Facebook. I don't even see TikTok or Instagram. So YouTube is my one and only social media. And to those that are, talking about finance in the Singapore landscape, and those that are looking at them, to be mindful that they have to be licensed, they have to be regulated under the Financial Advisor Act. So basically, they have to be. I put it to you, they need to have some finance background or some way to, because for them to even educate you on the stocks they pick or the stocks movement, how they move after their earnings, or even the platform that they're using, they have to be quite concise. They need to actually, because they're giving advice. It's as simple as that. They're giving advice, so you need to be mindful that they are on this act itself. The thing that I'm quite puzzled and it's just funny that, as is right here, over the past 5 years, MAS has received an average of fewer than 5 complaints per year against influencers, and none of these complaints were made. But the complaints were made on the influencers were not actually giving any financial advice in the first place. So that's the funny thing, is they were complained, but at that point of complaint, the influencers were not giving or providing financial advice. So I don't know, you Singaporeans are you just love to complain, I guess. But they have enforced actions on 6 individuals, so none of whom are actually influencers over the past 3 years. So there lies the issue. For those small timer YouTubers like myself, I don't want to talk about individual platforms. I'll be frank with you. Those that I actually did, my past videos, again, is just educational purpose. If the government or the government comes after me, I'll just take it down. It's as simple as that. The point of contention is those bigger ones that they talk about. I don't know about credit cards, which I don't think it's financial advice, because credit cards is asking you to spend. Those that talk about stocks, those talk about REITs, especially in Singapore, you always like to talk about REITs or banks, the stock performance. You kind of need to be mindful that they need to be licensed. Then you got those that talk about trading. Those also need to be licensed. Definitely need to be licensed. I talk in glimpse of my trading, journey. I will not talk about, how I do it, because again, I don't wish to run foul on our good old MAS, because in Singapore we are quite strict on our law. So there lies the issue that many of you. Okay, coming back to why I say you guys are rich, like all of you, because as I'm dug deeper into this, investment scams, because the whole idea of why you talk about regulatory or licensing, influencers, is because of scams. In case you get scammed, there are instances that some platforms, they actually didn't, close shop and gone. Your money is not safe, it's not protected by SDIC or the investment portfolio side of things. Those like Hodernot was one. Then of course, if you are putting money into overseas, platforms, like some influencers were recommending, those also close shop. Your money is gone. Heck, even Q10, where you have money with them, that one's not literally not financial advice, but money in platforms can close shop and then you can lose your money totally. It's a thing. So investment scams apparently ranks the top 5 common types of scams, And then the staggering like 133 million losses in the first half of 2024. And this is by the biggest of all bank, the most notorious of all bank is DBS that actually talks about this. And this was in 30th September 2024. Then there's another news that Singapore is proposing a law. This law is to stop you guys who are quite stubborn with money, that you like to put money in investment vehicles here like that. They actually can restrict you from banking and putting money into these platforms, basically sending money out. It can be investment scams, it can be love scams, it can be any type of donkey scams. And what's quite scary is when I read this, it's like per day, 2 million are out the door, like 2 million worth of money is out every day. There's because of scams. It's mind-boggling. Like, for real, man. The Minister of State for Home Affairs, Sun Xueli, she said that Singapore is losing some 2 million in scams daily. And this was talked about in a roadshow on November 10. Just this year alone. November 10 was like 4 days ago. So, Singapore, I don't know what's going on. I know you guys are rich. You want to be wealthy. Heck, there's even a Reddit for high earners not yet rich. Which I don't know how that term came about in the first place. I know you guys are earning the big bucks. I'm not. I know many of you would like to put money and earn more as quickly as possible. That's not gonna happen. This takeaway from me to you, this last part of it is, I'm gonna urge you guys, being rich and being wealthy is two totally different games. Totally different, sums and parts. Why this video is out is a public service announcement that, following influencers blindly will cost you. My take on it is, I've lost money before. I put it to you, you need to figure your own budgeting, your own savings, and your own investment. And once you got it figured all out, don't even need to look at them. I'm not even looking at any of them. Even though they're on my feed, I never even clicked on them. There are some that will, like the top 5 SV, or top 5, banking, like SK, we'll talk about banks. All these influencers, they have their own take. Put it in your head, figure it out, your own path to financial, literacy. You should know better, you should know yourself also. So take it from me to you, learn and do it yourself. Only then you can actually achieve financial freedom, or, financial whatever you need to do with your money. So yeah, for me, going forward, I will pivot a bit. I'm not going to talk about platforms anymore. I'm not going to talk about, I'm definitely not talking about stocks, because I only have my own way of, assessing stocks. That's my take on it. I'm not going to give advice on that. So for me, this is a public service announcement. This is just me telling you that if anything, influencers need to be licensed. If you have any take on this matter, you can comment down below. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Take care, everyone. I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.